Sorry.
It's alright, it happens sometimes. Alright, now hold on. Do we have all our resolutions? Yes. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. The reset button on the computer is like right at the front and easy to bump, and Rosie accidentally bumped into it and started to reboot the computer.
No, don't reboot. No! What are you doing?
Hold on a second. We were just talking about Ratchet and Clank. I'm just going to fix the camera. Carry on, Eric. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
And welcome back, everybody. Welcome to part 2.
Okay. Oh, you know your camera's gone, right?
I'm fixing it. Just don't worry about what I'm doing. Just carry on.
Sure if you knew.
I'm fixing it.
Okay.
Yeah. So next game on the list here is a title from Square Enix. Right now it's called Project. Is it Project Athia?
Athia, I think.
Athia?
Well,
I think it's Athia.
however you want to say it. Yeah.
It features like werewolf creatures and flying sections. It's gonna be exclusive to the PS5. It's by Square Enix and Luminous Productions. So it's I forgot what they had made before. And it does look kind of similar to this. So yeah, it looks weird.
Okay.
It's like you can't really tell exactly what it's going to be. You just know that it looks cool.
Yeah. So the next one we
Square
have
Enix
here.
usually
That's a cool
does.
dragon.
They make pretty games.
This one actually, again, I kind of thought of Skinslip on this one. The next game is called Stray, and it's by. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce the company that makes this game. Annapurna,
yeah.
Interactive revealed a robot-focused game called Stray, set in a world where humans have died off. Cats, however, are still in abundance, and the robots appear to be replacing humanity in their old role.
Thanks for the follow, Hack the Pineapple.
It sports a non-infused aesthetic and adorable kitties wearing backpacks.
Cool.
It comes in 2021.
What system is that for?
PS5. All these are going to be PS5 mostly.
God damn it.
But some of them are going to be on.
Well, I'm going to have to get it for fucking Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's alright.
The next one is a game called Returnal. It's a new franchise from Sony, shown during the event.
Wait, did they say, 1 second, did they say that PS4 games are backwards compatible?
They did not talk about any backwards compatibility in this thing at all.
Fuck Sony.
All they did was show off some games, and then they showed off what the system was going to look like, and that was it.
Cool.
They didn't talk about it at all. So yeah, this next one called Returnal. It's a new franchise from Sony, developed by the formerly arcade-focused Housemarque. We got a lot of these company names.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know all of them. I just knew that. I know Annapurna also does film. That's why the only reason I knew that.
Returnal features crash landing on an alien planet where the protagonist keeps revealing the same events, including her death, over and over and over again.
And I don't even know if I'm saying Annapurna correctly. I mean, I don't
even know either. Says the planet, however, changes every time she dies. So she's stuck in a loop of just dying over and over again. But every time she comes back, the same planet she lands on, but it's just something slightly different about it.
It's like a different.
And then she like dies in a different way. It's like
a sci-fi Groundhog's Day.
It's like Gravity meets Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, that's exactly. That sounds really cool though.
Okay, Housemarque made Resogun. Okay.
Oh, Resogun. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's a neat game. It was one of the launch titles for the PS4.
That'd be great if there was backwards compatible or something that I could actually play.
We do know it's going to be backwards compatible with PS4. We just don't know how backwards compatible.
Yeah, there was a few things that they kind of omitted.
Fuck your mother.
Neglected to mention in the presentation that I think everybody really wanted to know, such as price. How much is it going to be? Can we actually just have
$800
when it's coming out?
Yeah,
sometime.
Yeah, but we don't know
Christmas.
for sure if it's going to be $800. They haven't said anything. That's the point.
No, I'm guessing. That's my guess too. I'm guessing $800 Christmas.
Everybody's been guessing since the thing was announced. We want to know for sure. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I just made
supposed
my
to
guess
be,
though.
Yeah.
it's supposed to be the big reveal, and they didn't say what it was, and they didn't say specifically when it's coming out. They just said holiday 2020.
And that's I'm talking
That
about that's
means
the top tier
November.
one.
Yeah.
That
Make
means
your
November.
I'm
guess.
sure it
Make your
does,
guesses.
but-
I'm saying that's top tier. I'm sure they'll have smaller tiers, including a $500 or $400 console.
Well, that's
Anyway.
what I was saying. Yeah, there's probably going to be tiers. They've done that with all the
Absolutely.
other ones. So
Of the last 3 generations.
Thanks, Manic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Returnal looks interesting. I kind of like that idea. Next one here, developed by Sumo Digital, we have Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
that
It's the
looks
first, like,
awesome.
actual adventure game set in the Little Big Planet
You were
universe.
pretty stoked about that one.
Yeah, it's an action-oriented
now?
3D platformer
Or
rather than a
earlier.
2D one from the
Fucking
first
what?
three games.
Do
So
you
it's a
know?
3D platformer.
I
Which
said
is what I
you
thought
were
was
pretty
interesting.
stoked about that one. Do you know what that means?
Previously.
Means excited about it.
Yeah, I know what that means.
Okay. Yeah, the Sackboy, because Rosie and I played a lot of Little Big Planet.
And then all our files got wiped.
I know. Okay. It's because I didn't know about the cloud
800
backup
bucks
until now.
For like the pro model with 4K, and you'll see like a regular model with just a regular 4K at like, you know.
And you
4 or
know the
5
disc
bucks.
one will be more expensive than the digital only one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they'll probably be, and that might even be 3 tiers. They could go digital only for all I know.
They
It might
did-
be
Well, there is
$800 and
hold on,
There is
hold on, hold
a
on.
digital only one.
okay.
There is.
So there you go.
There's two.
Okay.
That's why I said there's a disc one and there's a digital only one.
Oh, I see. So I'm guessing the disc one's $800. That's my guess.
I don't know.
My guess is 600 for the disc one, 500 for the digital.
Yeah, I highly doubt it's going to be 800. Nobody's going to buy that. And traditionally, companies sell consoles at a loss, and they make it up
That
in
is
software
true.
licensing. So they just want to get the hardware into people's homes, and
To
they'll
be
make their money
fair,
from software.
like the PlayStation 3 was like $12,000 in cost, or $1,200. Excuse me, $1,200 in cost.
Yeah.
So they were losing like $800 a unit almost. And
Easy.
then, as the parts got cheaper to produce, the unit price came down, and then
Mhm.
it finally went below their actual 500 and started making money on it. That's how
Right.
they run those things,
Mhm.
because they're playing they're doing a loss leader for the console because they make lots of money on the licensing on the games and the
That's what I
sales
said,
of games
yeah.
and stuff. So yeah.
So the next game on the list here is from Lucid Games. It's called Destruction All Stars. It's pretty much a demolition derby game where you can either drive in vehicles, and run on foot. And you
What?
can like hop on tops of cars, and it shows off the particle effects
called?
and physics. It's called Destruction All Stars.
Mm,
Okay.
mhm.
Destruction All Stars.
Imagine like
I'm gonna look this
a-
up. That's cool.
a mix between Demolition Derby, Fortnite, and Rocket League.
Mhm.
Kind of like
Bit
all
of,
mixed
bit
together.
of twisted metal in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
it
a little
looked
bit of
up-
twisted middle.
It looked
I'm
alright.
watching the trailer now.
It looked very esportsy. That's the one thing that kind of like.
Oh,
yeah.
esports, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it
the
looked
that one's
all
pretty
right,
good.
but I'm not a big fan of arena-based racing games personally,
Yeah.
or just arena-based games generally. I prefer to have like a wide open environment to run around in or
It
drive
could
around in or
shock
whatever.
us all.
It might be
These look
amazing.
like
I don't know.
giant tracks, like giant domes. They don't look like they're small tracks.
Yeah, I
Watch
know,
us
but still.
all end up getting this game and being like, "Yes, we have to play together." Fuck yeah, boo.
trying to
This is
think
the
how to
game
get
that
it.
It's
unites
entirely
us all.
possible. It might be awesome. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
man, this looks. Holy shit!
Oh, you're watching the trailer.
Oh
Okay.
god!
Yeah.
Oh, that one's me. Yep. Pink ears lady.
While Skinslip watches that, the next trailer,
Let me play!
next game that was announced here is called Kena: Bridge of Spirits,
Oh, I think I saw that.
or some people have been saying Kena. It's Kena. It's Kena.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that'd
one looks
be
so
Kena.
fucking good.
And it's a
Kena would be
it's
two
actually
ends.
a pretty adorable one from Ember Labs.
Do people even English?
It's a Pixar kind of like magical with magical abilities and enemies. It's a platformer. What else to really say about it? Small, cute little creatures, big, dangerous monsters. Like it. It's one of
It's- If I recall correctly, it looks like Pikmin in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
That's the one
kind
that
of.
looks like Pikmin, right?
Yeah, the
Because
art
you got a
style.
bunch of little cute little characters following you around, and you use them to perform certain tasks. That's very Pikmin-like.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the
Well,
next
again
one
with that-
here is a game called Goodbye Volcano High.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a manga, I think, and there's a movie that came out in the
Yeah.
MTV badly dubbed in the early
It
2000s, I think.
stars starring fantasy creatures in a high drawn art style. Goodbye Volcano High is an emotional game set in an end of an era. It will arrive in 2021 and it will also feature a unique indie style soundtrack
Maybe not related.
if the trailer is accurate.
I
It
will
may not be
say,
related, actually.
the beginning of the trailer really got me. Like the fucking the thing that they start off with, the question that they ask at the beginning,
Yeah.
it just got me. Like,
Damn,
you're
Yeah,
calling me out right now,
Hold on.
game.
a lot of people were kind of scratching their heads because it is kind of an unusual art style. It's all like a hand-drawn 2D
It is, yeah.
style. But what interested me about it was, as what Stoud said, sort of the questions they pose and just the vibe I got from the story and the characters, like what little we saw in the trailers. There's just something about it that seemed really interesting to me.
What was the question?
I'm not going to say it now. Anyway. So, yeah. I'll check it
Yeah,
out.
definitely one to look out for.
Yeah, I'll check it out because it looks like my kind of sort of slice of life, coming of age kind of story
does,
that I enjoy. So
Yeah, a lot of people are comparing it to like Life is Strange.
yeah, that was kind of the vibe I got from it. A bit of a Life is Strange vibe, just the high school life aspect of it.
Next one here, I was so excited to see it because we had been teased for several E3s about this, and they just didn't. All we ever saw was a logo, and we finally got not only a trailer but a good chunk of gameplay for Oddworld Soulstorm.
That looks amazing.
Yes.
Very dark.
It was shown during an event, and the game is in development for years and was released on the PS5. However, the technology hasn't come up since really new and tasty.
Yeah.
The classic character designs, sense of humor, it's all dark and intense actually. There looks like there is some bits of humor in there, which was not the driving force of the series, but it was a good chunk of it.
It was something that like defined it for sure.
Right. But it does look like they're making sure that this takes more of a serious note to it and brings in the more hardcore audience.
Yeah.
And,
What I did like about what I saw for that is that they're sticking with the side-scrolling.
yes, as I
platform.
said, there was a lot of gameplay that was showing all these different elements, and there was only just a few fleeting moments where it showed a 2D perspective and Abe running across the screen. I'm like, okay, that looks like it's going to change and be like a mix of many different styles of gameplay. So, but they do have that old style in there, and I'm excited for that. So
Cool.
I've always been a huge fan of the Oddworld series.
Yeah, I know. I really need to play more of them. I haven't really played much of them. Well,
But,
Yes,
at
you
all.
do.
yeah, it looks really good.
Major Matoko says, I remember having Abe fart a lot in the 90s.
Yes.
You can
My
make
dad
him
always
fart.
commented about that, how you can actually like walk up to the other ones you're trying to say, fart, some will laugh and some will go phew and like back away. So it's just like, yeah, it was fun.
Press X to fart.
Literally it was.
Sold.
So the next one on here, again we saw a glimpse trailer at this at last year's E3, and we finally got a full gameplay and everything for Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
And holy crap!
That one looks really cool. Creepy.
Okay. Yeah, it's from Bethesda and Tango GameWorks. Yeah, it's a hard to explain game.
Yeah. The only issue.
Twisted.
Well, it's a thing where your character can see ghosts or something, isn't it? But
Yeah,
other
it's
people
something
can't.
along those lines. Like he
Yeah.
can see like almost like a parallel dimension kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like there's things happening in one dimension that kind of leak into another one, and
But
you're
only
like
he
kind
can
of
see them.
you're
or
literally like
something. Yeah.
fucking Fist of the North starring their asses. Just
Yeah.
you know,
The only issue I had, and this may not even be an issue when the final game comes out, is it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of variety to the enemies in it. It seemed like we were seeing like the same 3 or 4 of them over and over and over again in the trailer.
yeah.
You know what I
There's
mean?
like there's a like Slender Man looking dude with no face.
There's that guy, and there's like a creepy headless girl, and
Yeah, there's like a schoolgirl with no head. Yeah, it's
yeah,
I mean, I think they're just trying not to show off too much.
probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking. Like that may be intentional. They're just not showing us too much.
Yeah, they're just showing. This might be very early in the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'll wait and see. I'll probably check it out. 'Cause I do like Asian ghost story lore.
Oh yeah.
You know.
The next one is called Jet: The Far Shore. It's developed by Super Brothers.
Oh yeah.
It was shown during the reveal event. The world is shown as dreary, but rocket fires into space, showing a series of satellites that appear to hold some sort of future for the planet. Hundreds of years later, a small ship flies in to a much more vibrant land.
Oh.
So it's, I guess it's like they escaped a dying planet, and then the planet healed itself, and they're returning back.
Right.
You know.
It sounds and looks very much like it's inspired, at least partially, by No Man's Sky, which isn't too surprising. When No Man's Sky came out, we were all talking about how this is going to define how a lot of games are made in the future. And now, what do we see?
Yeah.
What do we see? A lot of games coming out are like No Man's Sky, So
that's the problem. A lot of games like that come out a little bit ahead of their time, and people don't quite know what to make of them, and just kind of shit on them. And it's like,
No Man's Sky is awesome. It's
I know.
so fun.
I know.
It is awesome.
And now games like that are becoming more common, but at the time they weren't. So people.
I'm in that camp where I'm just like, I loved it before it was cool.
I loved it when No Man's Sky was still playing in his garage.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on here. The next one, we got some gameplay of the earlier announced Godfall.
Stop it.
It's not really my kind of game.
Me either.
It looks like an arena fighter
They're
melee
trying
combat
too
game.
fucking hard.
That. That one. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I was just like,
Oof.
Yeah.
Is it like a Super Smash Bros. Kind of thing?
No.
Supernatural science fiction elements. You unlock godlike armor to defeat powerful foes. It's Call of Duty with swords.
God, even that title is so lame. I'm sorry, but like, what did it take 5 minutes to come up with the fucking title?
I've already forgotten the title.
Godfall.
Godfall, that's what it was, yeah.
Godfall. God. What does it even mean?
God,
what's the fucking point of that fucking title?
I'm gonna say, for this next game I'm about to talk about, I'm honestly gonna say, since obviously it makes sense, it's from the creators of them, that this is a spiritual sequel.
Okay.
And there are gonna be a lot of references to it. And that's Solar Ash. It's from the creators of Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh yeah, that one looks really cool.
Because it literally looks like Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah, they have a very sort of distinctive style.
It's like a 3D Hyper Light Drifter, and it's just like, and this is the whole protagonist. The hostile world seems to reject the protagonist, and the mentions of a void before the demonstration transitioned into gameplay. And it arrives 2021. Most of these, if not all of these, are coming out in 2021.
That one looks pretty cool.
Another reason not to rush out and buy the console right away, by the way. A lot of these games come out.
A lot of these high-end
not
titles,
launch games.
not coming
They're
out.
just,
They're not launch titles.
Yeah, they're coming out within the first year or ish.
Kind of makes me wonder, like, what is going to be the launch titles?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. All these great games are not coming out at launch. Oh. Okay. Maybe Spider-Man. We might get Spider-Man. But,
the next one here, we actually not only got a really neat looking trailer, but also a little bit of like a walk around gameplay of Hitman 3.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
I just like the fact that they set this one in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be like, this is the epic. They're calling it like the epic finale. Like, this is going to be the last.
I need to play those because I'm really good at stealth games, so I know I'd be a natural with that.
There's a really interesting picture actually of Agent Agent
Thanks.
47.
Glad you agree.
And because you all know the iconic look of Agent 47 is the big iconic look of Agent 47 obviously is that suit, the gloves, and he has the barcode on the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
One of the images they show, the promotional images, shows a blood patch and a band-aid over where that barcode is.
Oh, so maybe he took the barcode off.
Yeah, that's what I kind of think, because, and also they're saying like this is his last
operating independently.
Yeah, so maybe he's going rogue.
Yeah.
So that would be, yeah. And anyone says this will conclude the rebooted trilogy.
Brinsley says now he has a QR code.
This one actually got me...
Sorry, just to interject here quickly.
Oh, no,
Hitman Absolution is actually currently free on GOG, only for the next couple of days. So I grabbed it. I suggest everyone else do the same.
This next game here actually got me a little more excited than it should have, mostly because we'd only really had a couple of gimmicky games, and I kind of wanted to see an actual game with these characters. And the next one is Astro's Playroom.
That looks like fun.
Yeah, it's Astro's Playroom. It's being developed by Japan Studios. Only a brief glimpse of gameplay is shown.
It's the little robot dudes from the.
These are the little robot dudes that were advertised when the PS4 came out to show off the camera and the little light bar thing.
Yeah.
And all that
There's
kind
a
of
free
stuff.
game you can download.
And it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And I always wanted, kind of like what they did with Lucky's Tale,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see a full game with these, because these characters were interesting. They're like little robots.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And yeah, so here we go. Astro's Playroom, a full platformer with these characters, and
I'm definitely sold, because I like.
It looks good.
I didn't mess around with Playroom a lot, but I had a lot of fun with it when I did. And in particular, I loved those little robot dudes.
I did.
I messed around with it.
Okay, Rosie did.
With the PlayStation VR.
Okay, yeah.
Can I just say that I'm so glad that at least two of the games that they've announced for the PlayStation 5 are platformers. Actually, three of them, because you got, so like Ratchet and Clank, you got this, you got Oddworld, like
Oddworld Soulstorm. I mean, technically,
are we
also
talking
have
about the return of the platformer here? I'm just
hope.
saying.
It never went away, motherfucker. There's nothing to return from.
Yeah, but with AAA
was out last fucking year, dickhead.
Huh?
Return of the Mac.
Never went away. Platforms have been around forever. They never went
but we're
away.
talking AAA titles, not like indie games.
I'm talking
all kinds,
specifically
whatever,
PlayStation too.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation.
Oh, don't
it's been a
eye
while
roll.
since they focused on that. You know.
Anyway,
It's a AAA title, but okay.
Yeah. Well, what are you talking about?
Cuphead was a AAA title, I said. That's a platformer.
Cuphead is barely a platformer. It's more of a side-scrolling shooter. Well, it is.
It's a
No.
platformer.
Jingle night,
Thank
gentlemen.
you, Rosie. Thank you.
whatever.
Okay.
Moving on.
Anyway.
Next game here is a game called Little Devil Inside. An adventure game with a unique aesthetic and plenty of mystical creatures. A Little Devil Inside features a mix of stealthy exploration, direct combat, and even hunting wild creatures like dragons. There'll be numerous settings, including frozen tundras and cities. This is that one that kept switching back and forth between a guy like hunting monsters and like an old guy like laying in bed and then pooping. Like there's one like he's like climbing down a rope, drops a bomb, and then it like cuts to him and you hear boop. So so the next one here is this one actually was the description they put in as a Steve Irwin style wildlife expert game, and it's the game called Bug Snacks.
Oh yeah, that one looks so.
It's from the creators of Octodad.
Bizarre.
The theme song for that one.
Yes.
was hilarious because one of the streamers I was watching who was watching this misheard it, like unintentionally misheard it and thought it said butt sex.
Yeah, I misheard it too.
And I just couldn't get it out of my head after that.
No,
Like,
okay.
Wait,
In
what's
my case, I was
Bug snacks.
I was just
Oh
getting
yeah, I
home
can see that.
from work, and I know that the thing had already started, so I was kind of catching up. I was waiting for food to arrive, so I had my phone out, and I was watching it on low volume on my phone, and I got to that part, and yeah, on low volume on my phone, I thought the announcer thing kept trying to say butt sex the entire time. So no, it's bug snacks, because the creatures are a mixture of bugs and like food, and so like burgers and strawberries and incredible. It's bizarre, and I guess the whole idea is that like you run your character around and eat the different animals or bugs, and like it changes the parts of your body into those foods. So you can have like a strawberry arm, a hot
it
dog
looks like
pair
there's
of
a
legs.
little bit more to that, but I couldn't
Well,
tell
that's
you
all.
what
That's
it
all they
is.
really showed.
Yeah, they showed some other. Well, they showed some other guy coming in and like talking to this person who was like the main
Oh yeah.
guy.
Yeah, the only
advertising,
part that
right?
was interesting about that at the very end, it showed like all the little food things like kind of creating its own creature, and then it like lunges at the screen. So
Yeah,
it's like,
and that's why I'm thinking.
oh,
There's
I mean,
probably
okay, that's the
some
darker
story
twist
mode
of
to
this
this,
game.
right? Yeah,
So
like,
is that
might be a dark side to it. Or...
because otherwise
Yeah.
it looks like Viva Pinata or something like
yeah,
that.
kind of.
Yeah.
This is cool, but what else is there to it? And apparently, like what I got from it is that there's
Like-
a story mode of some sort.
Right.
Yeah, the end part
Mhm.
seems like there might be more to it than just eating food.
Yeah, it was. I like when the
I'm down.
guy comes out like, yeah, I was trying to like, what is it? I was trying to hold something.
And I dropped it, and
Yeah,
then
I was trying to hold something with my wiener arms, and it didn't really work. And
oh
now
no, yeah,
that-
he was trying to hold a torch with his wiener arm, and he
that's what
dropped
it
it and
was.
set the village on fire.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So then they leave. So then they leave, and then you hear this rustling and stuff, and then a bunch of the different bug snacks come out, and they're like crawling around and stuff. And there's one that looks like ice cream, and there's one that looks like something else, and there's like all these different. It's like all these foods as bugs. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
But it looks fun. Like it looks very kind of silly.
Like,
And
I like that they're getting
weird.
very experimental with all this, and it's just really weird looking. Next one they showed is a really nice looking. Again, it was really only just the opening sequence. It wasn't really any game. For an HD remake of Demon Souls.
Yes, that looks pretty
Or-
rad.
I must correct a lot of people. Demon's Souls.
Demon's Souls, yeah. It's like one of
So-
those fully from the ground up remakes too. It's
Yeah.
not just like they put it in higher HD, but yeah, looks pretty cool.
Looks pretty epic.
Why is that sad? Okay, apparently that's sad. I never understand jail.
Next game on the list here, actually going back to that other one about the which one was it? Kind of like Returnal, where it's the person dies and it's like
Oh yeah,
they're reliving their death
yeah,
over and over again. There's another game with the same or similar concept called Deathloop
yes,
by Arcane
Oh,
Studios.
yeah.
And it's an ongoing duel, but it retains the studio's well-known first-person shooter stealth. However, things go awry when it and require plenty of firepower, and you could restart the loop to rectify things. So, but there's also like a secondary assassin that's trying to kill you.
But it's like there's
to
this.
stop you from
It's
preventing
this
the
city
loop. And,
where basically this guy is the target that everyone in the city is trying to kill. So you're trying to kill them first, but meanwhile there's another assassin that's trying to kill you too, or something like that. But
yeah, it's something like that.
it's one of those things where it's like you die and then it rewinds back to the beginning of that section, and then you try not to die.
I got a very like 1970s vibe from it.
Yeah, it had a cool aesthetic to
definitely.
it, definitely. Yeah, it felt like kind of a 70s action movie, almost like Crank, kind of,
But also kind of like,
humor and
oh,
energy.
what's that? What was that one movie that had a really trippy intro, and it was all about. Apparently, it's just me now.
We lost Stoudman. Okay.
And it was. Oh God, I keep thinking of like the terminal, but it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it had like that really trippy intro with like all the colors that were flying through, and it's a '70s movie, or a movie set in the '70s. I don't know. I'm rambling on now.
Okay.
I'm sorry, if I'll mention it if I remember
listening.
it or I come up with it.
Okay.
But so yeah, Deathloop. This next one, everyone's excited for. I'm indifferent about it. They showed off the new Resident Evil game.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil
Yes.
8, or Resident Evil Village, I guess is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I haven't played Resident Evil 7. I was in that camp that I didn't really care for Resident Evil 4 because I think it strayed way too far from the original concept.
Okay.
7 is fine for what it is. Like I said, I haven't played it, so I can't really say anything about it.
I can concur. 7 is fantastic. It's just it's definitely a reinvention for the franchise.
Yeah.
But it's one that I like.
I just personally looking at this new one, I think this one is just like now they're just throwing the Resident Evil name on horror titles.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, because a lot of people said that about 7 as well when they first saw that. It's like, well, what the hell is this? Doesn't look like Resident Evil. But then when you play it, it definitely is Resident Evil. It's just it's approaching things from a different angle, and I think that's going to be the same thing with this one. It's going to feel a little different, but it's going to be.
Nice. I'm holding up my reservations for obviously when it comes out and I actually see the game.
Your resident operations.
But as it sits right now, I'm not super excited because I actually had no idea what the fuck it was until it told me it was Resident Evil at the very end.
I didn't care one way or the other. I'm excited either way. I just thought it looked good.
The werewolf kind of threw me off.
How we don't get werewolves off?
Zombie
enough. Come on.
Zombie werewolf.
Werewolves need more love.
Where's Zombie Wolf?
Where's Zombie Wolf?
Resident Evil Village people. There you go. So this one, I honestly thought when this next game, when it was kind of playing through, I thought this game had freaking Hideo Kojima all over it. I was also horribly wrong. But that's Pragmata.
Okay.
It's the post-apocalyptic game set in a world where cats are now holograms.
Yes.
Horrifying natural disaster wrecks the world of Pragmata as we see a man in a spacesuit get thrown into the air along with several cars. And he finds himself on the moon with little explanation, and aka a little girl who can apparently breathe on the moon.
Well, I guess I think she's like an android or something.
Probably, yeah. There's like a lot of I think one of the things that I guess they kind of alluded to is like she saw a situation and then his backpack created a thing to solve the issue.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that, like when they're flying in, that big like space station is barreling towards them.
Yeah.
She looked at it and her eyes went all weird, and then it cut to the backpack and it said creation complete, and he threw it out and it created that like net dome that like bounced them off of it. So I'm thinking like they're connected somehow. Like she could see things, and then his backpack can create something that like helps the situation.
It certainly feels like it's inspired by Death Stranding.
Like I said, it had a lot of Death Stranding vibes, with just like the way everything was like silent. There was no talking.
Yeah.
There was just things were happening, and you're like, "What the fuck is happening?" So yeah, it looks interesting. It comes in 2022, so it's going to be a while. So yeah. So finally, last but not least, the final game was a new Horizon Zero Dawn game called Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah. I haven't played the first one. Everybody keeps recommending it to me, but even that.
I still need to play it.
The second one looks amazing. Like, it just looks so epic and beautiful. And
yeah, with protagonist Aloy narrating the trailer featuring impressive environments and fauna. The plague appears to be causing local wildlife to die off. She must race to discover what is causing it before it is too late. She will be able to explore underwater and discover secrets beneath the surface, which was new for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what suit do you want
So
when is
those
that one
were-
coming out?
They didn't announce that.
Oh. I'm guessing that will be a launch title. Seems like they need at least one launch title that's like a big Sony title, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
okay.
so at the very end of the conference, they obviously showed what the new system is going to look like.
Yes.
It looks like a giant Wi-Fi router.
I got a picture of it here. Hold on a second.
I think it looks cool. It's
I
very
think it looks
futuristic
cool.
looking.
It looks pretty
And
sleek.
when they did an interview and said that this was their most bold design yet,
There we go.
yeah, damn right that it is.
So you can see on the left is the disc-based version. You can see the disc slot there.
Yeah, with the goiter on the side there.
And then the on the right is the
goiter.
digital only version, which looks better because it's more uniform. But
yeah, which a lot of
but
people
yeah,
are saying
that's what it looks like.
that Sony is kind of trying to push forward to a digital only everything because it looked like the design of the console was designed without a disc drive in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And disc
But
drive
I
was
don't
like
think
just
that's.
a later. It was just like something they added in at the last minute.
Yeah.
I
Here
don't
it is
think
with
that
the
that's
giant
something
goiter.
of them trying to push it. It's something that they originally the concept was to make it like a digital only maybe kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then at the end they're like, well, people will still buy it and still want it with a disc drive, so
Yeah.
we'll
of course.
have a disc drive on here.
Well,
so
what?
they
what-
didn't change the design; they just added a disc drive on there.
Well, what have we been
It's
saying
very
for
strange.
I don't know how long? It's like the being a console player is like the last bastion for being a gamer who likes to collect physical media, you know. And I mean, I can't remember the last time I bought a
It's
PC
done,
game in physical form.
I was gonna
get
say for
PC
PC
games
gamers,
digitally.
it's fortunately it's died off a long time ago.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's
I'm
like
looking at
now
the
last
PS5
physical-
and saying
I can honestly
there's
say
no
the
reason
last
to get it. There's no reason to
physical
get the
release
disc.
PC game, and it still didn't come with the disc.
yeah.
Was the 2016 Doom game,
Okay.
and it came with a box with a digital code in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the
where
thing.
It all began.
A lot of these games are being released now, and the CD is basically a key, the same way it was for PC games in like the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's where console games have gotten to, where a lot of these games are just keys,
Yep.
so that you can download it off of the store. So it's like, even if you have the disc, there's no real purpose in
Yeah,
having
you
the disc
put the
except
disc
for to
in, then
download the game.
Download 100 gigs onto the
So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm looking at this and thinking, yeah, I don't necessarily see a point in having the disc drive on there for me personally, because personally, I have an Xbox One here that has a 4K drive in it, so I don't need a 4K drive. I have one. So,
Yep.
I'm like thinking to myself, maybe I do just get the digital only, because what's the fucking point in having the disc based when the disc is just a key? Especially for the next generation, I
Yeah.
guarantee you 90% of these fucking games, it's just the disc is gonna be a key.
It's just
So-
gonna be to have a case on your shelf.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. Yeah, and I mean, things like that is really going to kill the aftermarket for games. Like, what happens
That
when
is
For
true.
me, that
that's
is
no longer valid? You can't use the code anymore. You can't sell your game to get a new game. you
Well,
know.
that's why there's a lot of these games that even came out for the Xbox One and the PS4 that like are dropping in value to like $5 or $10 really quickly
Yeah,
because they're just keys.
yeah,
So like people know they can't get much money for them, so they end up selling them for $5 or $10.
yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Yep, 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 yep,
well, now I'm depressed. I was like,
yeah. It's
yep.
like I should be happy about this, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are reasons to be happy. It's just in terms of like collecting in physical media.
Well,
it's
as
like,
collectors, yeah, it's
fuck.
frustrating because we want to have a game collection on our shelf
Yeah.
that we can look at with pride. I like, holding the game in my hand, looking at
I
the
don't,
beautiful
my whole
art,
stance on it is I
having
just
a
like
big fat
actually
instruction
owning it.
manual,
Yeah,
and not
actually owning it.
actually
like
owning
actually-
it. Yeah, yeah,
actually owning it versus just paying the same amount of money that I would for actually owning it
hmm
with a promise from paying for a promise from Sony or from Microsoft or whatever that I can have digital access to this game.
Yeah.
For
I've
how
always,
long is the question?
yeah,
Well, that's
I've
the
always
question.
stood
How
that
long?
digital anything,
Yeah.
you don't own it
No, you don't.
in
You
any
just
way, shape, or form.
you have purchased a license that allows you to play it.
Yep.
That's it. You
I
bought a
call it
license.
purchasing a
You have not
promise.
bought a game. So,
So
and you don't own anything. Yeah, I think about it like a lot of these digital-only games, what happens when these old services go the way of the dodo, and we've seen that happen with some streaming services, like music streaming services and video, like video content services, just up and going out of business. You no longer have access to that content.
Yep.
Yet, that Atari 2600 cartridge that I bought 40 years ago, I can still play.
I mean, I don't want to call you out, JL, but you're the one who always brings it up every single time your favorite movie franchise isn't available on the platform that it was previously available on digital.
That's true.
It's just like that's the problem with digital. We continue to bring it up. Like the rights for these movies end up transferring over in television shows.
I will stop
depending
a
on how much
conversation
people
and not
pay.
even argue with someone the second they bring up convenience as a reason to have it on a digital.
It's
and I
is
go,
it really convenient?
is it really all that convenient? Like, is it really
all the licensing
so convenient
and DRM you have to navigate through?
It's worth not even the 5 minutes. It's worth the 2 minutes you'll save of going to your fucking shelf and taking off the shelf and putting the disc in the drive. It's worth the 2 minutes you'll save to have to worry about whether or not you're actually going to have access to this a year from now. That's worth it to you? I don't know. I disagree.
They're like, oh, but there's all these movies that I can watch. I go, yeah. Do you watch all of them?
Yeah.
Like,
what happens to the ones that you want to watch and you pay for?
You're paying monthly for a fuck ton of movies that you're not even going to watch.
Yeah.
I have all these movies back here, and all these movies over here, I paid for once. They haven't continued to charge me for just sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
come back to them 10 years later and be like, damn, I forgot to watch this one. I can watch it. It's not removed from the service.
Yeah, it's not like there's a guy randomly coming in my house and just taking Blu-rays off my shelf. And then saying that'll be $10.
That was the original idea behind DivX, by the way.
Yes, it was. That you wouldn't actually own it.
Hell.
You'd have the content on a disc, but you couldn't play it without paying a rental fee. You had to pay a rental fee every time you wanted to watch it.
Which was stupid because I remember a lot of those DivX discs were just as expensive as the DVD discs.
They were, yeah.
It's just like, what? You want me to pay the same price as a DVD disc, which I own forever?
I think they were
I would pay for something that I have to pay for again.
As I recall, they were a little bit cheaper, but the problem was you had to pay the rental fee every time you watched it, and
it's only cheaper if you ever only watch it once.
Yeah, exactly. That one time. Then you're stuck
to be fair, there are a lot of people out there like that. I have heard people talk to me like I'm the fucking freaking weirdo because I like to watch movies more than once.
Yeah, what a freak.
What's
the matter with you?
I'm the weird one here. Okay.
Why would you ever want to watch something once? Yeah, I had somebody say that
about that movie. I'll never watch it again.
I had somebody try to argue that with me when I was collecting all the Doctor Who DVDs, and it's like, why would you ever want to own it on DVD? I mean, you're never going to watch it more than once, and let's face it, they don't have very much rewatch value. I'm like, holy shit, motherfucker. First off, you're talking about Doctor Who, which has like almost infinite rewatch value, and I have sat down and watched through the entire classic series several times over the years, so yes, I want it on my shelf. Thank you very much. Hey, I'm the devil again. We're both the devil. Both Rosie and I are the devil. Hold on. There. We're the devil family. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to hell. again.
That's just it, JL. You assumed it would always be there. And that assumption, as we've shown, is wrong.
That is,
now,
yeah. Don't ever.
Should
assume.
that be the way it works?
And lots of extras.
I'm not
yes.
going to say yes or no because rights holders can do whatever the fuck they want. But if there's an option out there that the rights holders give to you that allows you to own it outright, and you can watch it whenever the fuck you want to, and you don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to revoke the right, probably best to take that option.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would just, I had to nail this into a friend of mine. It's just like, okay, let's take it down to bare basics here. I go, you have the disc, you have a player, and you have TV. That's one investment, one investment, one investment. To watch your digital version, you have a subscription fee for the digital version because you're watching on like Netflix or something. You have your internet connection that you're paying monthly for. So you need the internet connection, and then also you need a device and a TV. So you're paying once for the TV, once for the device, monthly for the subscription service, and then monthly for the internet connection.
Yes.
4 versus 3.
Yeah. Duncan says, counter the you won't watch it more than once argument with, do you also not listen to music more than once?
I
Oh, I heard that Beatles song once. That was good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Love is all you need. That was a great song. I heard it once.
That's different. That's music. It's like, yeah, well, films are like music to me, and TV shows are like music to me. So, yes, I will watch them more than once. But I hate when people come into, our collection videos or whatever and try to argue against collecting. And it's like, boy, are you ever on the wrong page? Like,
you're not going to win this battle.
You are not going to win this argument, ever.
The same logic for video games. It's like, oh, I beat Sinmora.
And what do you actually hope to accomplish coming in and leaving comments like that? What's the point of collecting? Like, what a waste of money and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what exactly do you expect me to say? Like, oh my God, you're right. I've been wasting so much time collecting all these things. I'm just going to give all my DVDs away to the needy. And live a life of quiet, pious minimalism from now on. Thank you so much. You've shown me the error of my ways.
I'm gonna go live in a cabin in the woods. Oh wait.
Yeah, like
it's there are certain things I like about capitalism, and this is one of the things I like about them. I'll never deny that I'm a consumer whore, and
yes.
This is part of it.
Yeah.
This is my consumer whorism. It's just, I love buying things and owning them and having them for display on my shelf and having them to watch and enjoy for years to come. I love that. That's one great thing about capitalism.
With me, for like movies and stuff, if it was a good movie, yeah, I'll watch it again.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you don't just watch something, you love it, and then never watch it again. That's not how movies work.
No. I mean, I know a lot of movies you rewatch.
I've rewatched Avatar more than, like, twice by now.
You've rewatched that. There's a couple of the Marvel movies you've rewatched a bunch of times, like Guardians of the Galaxy and
I've
Thor Ragnarok.
The Guardians of Gahul, 3 times.
Yeah, the
owl one.
The owl one, yeah.
That one's really good.
But yeah, like the point is, there's a bunch. I mean, Lord knows how many times have I watched The Thing or Blade Runner or the Transformers movie from 1986. You know, like, yeah. Great. 2001, yeah. I love 2001. I've lost count of how many times I've watched it over the years.
I have to express something too, that like, as I've gotten older, I've appreciated the fact that I have collected so many of the movies that I love even more.
Yeah.
Because as I've gotten older, my memory has gotten worse.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that now these movies that I loved, I can go back and rewatch again. Because I've forgotten so much of what's happened in my favorite movies.
Yeah. You just
So
remember that it's a
rewatching
favorite, but you can't
Yeah.
quite remember why.
Exactly. So rewatching them allows me to relive the memories and relive the things that I've forgotten about these
Well,
movies.
And you always see things that you probably missed
Yeah,
before. Not just stuff that you forgot, but stuff that you just flat out missed.
with the good ones especially. Yeah.
Yeah, you always
Like-
find something new.
That
to
or
discover.
having the ability to show movies that you love or movies that aren't on streaming services to people or younger generations that have never seen these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I introduced my nieces to Fern Gully like last week
Yeah, there you go.
because it got a Blu-ray release.
Nice.
So,
The only stuff I really collect would have to be my books and pop vinyls. I like my figurines.
Yes. Well, and you used to
Heck
watch.
yeah.
You used to collect Pokemon quite a bit, but you don't really
Yes.
collect that as much now. But
I collected them for the art, not for the
Yeah.
game itself.
that's kind of. I have a bunch of cards like that I got for much the same reason. But
Like your disgusting kids things.
the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
the disgusting kids
Jeez.
get cards.
Disgusting kids. Yes.
It's the disgusting kids. Do 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 do.
They actually made like a political version of that, like
Oh, God.
Garbage Patch Kids.
Oh, it's like
Uh-huh.
presidents and
political
stuff?
cards.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw
Based
some of
on
those.
like the Democratic debates a few months ago.
Interesting.
It was very interesting, very weird, and I don't know what to think about it. But yeah, I was just like, well, this is an interesting footnote. I was thinking about getting them just so that I'd have like a something that's just very limited and random and just out there. Like, why would they make this?
Yeah. I have to pee. I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
let's see. What game are you most looking forward to? Most excited about? Obviously, I'm most excited for Cyberpunk 2077. I cannot wait for that. That game just looks amazing, and fucking Keanu Reeves. As you know, I already have memorabilia from the game. It's not even fucking out yet. But yeah, I mean that's the biggest one right now. I mean a lot of the games they showed off during the
Thanks, Gilbot.
PlayStation event do look really interesting. Like I'm liking a lot of the directions they're taking with a lot of these. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the new Ratchet and Clank,
Definitely.
the new Horizon game, Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghost of Tsushima.
Once
That
I'm
new
old enough,
Yeah.
I'm excited for Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks really good. The new Oddworld game, Soulstorm. I've been an Oddworld fan. It was one of the few PC games when I was a kid that my dad actually bought. And it was, I played the PC version before any other version. And just had a lot of fun with it. And I've always been a fan. I need to pick up New and Tasty. I actually have not bought that game yet.
I think the one I'm most interested in is probably Stray. Because I just like the idea of being apparently you are the cat in a world
That's
full of
what I-
robots.
That's what I
kind of cool.
got from the game is that the humans have been replaced by robots, and now cats have
Hopefully,
got
Blade. Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a cat. It's Stray. It's a game where humans have died off and the only robots exist, only the AI that the humans built exist. Think AI the movie, but 20 years after the fact,
Yeah, but the robots
and cats are still alive, and cats are coexisting with the robots now, and you're one of the cats apparently. So
yeah. At least
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the way the
that's
trailer,
what it looks like. Yeah.
the way the trailer was pointing.
I've been playing Jack and Daxter recently, today.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
We have
The first-
we have the trilogy collection, so I'm trying
So
to
you're-
start with the first one.
I was just gonna say, so you're going through the first one?
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm
not
severely
easy.
stuck at getting
I remember-
75 precursor orb things.
I
At
remember
the
getting that
lava-
game for PS2 when it
The
first
lava
came
part.
out. It was
If you think that's
rare
hard,
time
just
that-
wait for the second one.
I've played
Ask
part
your
of the
dad
second
about how
one.
hard Jack 2 is.
He's finished.
Oh.
Like the really sad thing is he finished all three, and then all our PS3 data got wiped because
Oh no!
because the PS3.
At least we have
broke.
video footage of just
yeah,
how frustratingly nightmarish Jack 2 was. for him.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like, how long did it take him to beat that one level? The
the
race
friggin'
thing.
Yeah,
Like,
the
oh my
race from the
God.
bar. You had to like race from the bar to the slums.
It's so unforgiving. That game is so
They give
unforgiving.
you literally, if you do
I'm
it
really good at the
perfectly, you'll
racing
only have like a
ones,
few seconds
actually.
left.
Beyond Good and Evil.
But
No, I have not.
Oh.
Duncan.
If you
Beyond Good
can
and
play
Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil, you should. I think you'd love
do
that one,
please
Rosie.
find a way
I
to
don't
play
even know
Beyond.
if we have it.
If you do, it's going to be on PC, I think.
Is
Wasn't
it
there
A PS3
wasn't there a
game,
remaster
or
not too long ago?
I think there was,
what
but
console would it be on? If we, Dad, do we have
probably
Beyond Good and
PS2 or
Evil?
PS3.
Yes,
Where?
on PS3
Oh,
I was
we
gonna
have,
say, I think
we
you
have
got-
it
I
on the
think you got
PS3.
and on PS.
Like
and on
disc
PC.
version?
Huh?
Like disc?
No, it's digital only.
It's
Oh.
yeah,
Well, it was on
Oh.
Beyond Good and Evil
PS2
HD.
on disc. I had that, and then they released an HD remastered version on PS3 as a digital only.
Yeah.
So I got that, and then I
Yeah.
also have it on PC.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to play that, go for it. It's awesome. I love it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I was telling
Great.
them about how all your Jack and Daxter stuff got wiped.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about how hard the second one is.
Yeah. I had
Yeah, I played
100% on the
so much
first
Jack
and
and
third
Daxter.
ones.
Well, when I was
I
younger.
don't think I had 100% on the second one because it's hard.
I always have the first area music or and also what's the intro music just playing in my head. Just that those bongos, the doom doom da da doom doom da da doom.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Doom,
Yeah,
doom,
that's drilled in my brain by now.
da da doom. And it's just like, oh, it's so nostalgic.
I'm just thankful the music changes for each stage.
But
Jail, if I do get the PS5, it probably will be the digital only version.
see, I'll
But
be the
the
crazy
only
one. to
reason
get
for
this
that-
one.
The only reason for that for me is that I already have a 4K drive, so
See, I don't, so this will be
Yeah.
my way to get a 4K player. My monitor here is the only thing in this house besides the living room TV that actually can play 4K or output 4K.
the only
even
reason
then-
is that like I know that there aren't going to be that many disc-based games for the PS5 that are, anything more than a key. So
Yeah, that actually play off the disc or
Yeah.
play most of the content on the disc. But yes,
So
Rose, you do need to play Beyond Good and Evil.
yeah, absolutely. It is one of those hidden gems that I really wish
Mm-hmm.
more people had bought back in the day when it came out.
and they're still coming out with that sequel, but
Because then I was going to say that maybe the sequel wouldn't have been in limbo for so long.
yeah.
But everyone I know who's played it has loved it. Critics who noticed it loved it, and it just kind of flew under the radar and didn't get the audience that it really deserved at the
How-
time. So,
You know what, Sean?
what?
I know what Rose needs to play.
Oh
Okay.
no.
She needs to play Eternal Darkness.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't
Eternal
think I have
Darkness.
that one.
don't
I'm
tell
not-
her anything.
No, I'm not
Just-
going to tell her anything about it.
Okay.
You just need to. Yeah, I think it was only released on the GameCube.
No, they
Or did it-
actually re-released it in the rare replay pack for the Xbox One. So
Oh, they did.
that's another way you can play it.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
We don't really know yet, Vezius. That was the other thing we kind of sidetracked. Was they didn't mention the price, and they didn't give any specifics on the backwards compatibility, so nobody knows for sure.
And if that is correct, by the way,
what form it's going to take.
That's a good thing because it's really cheap to get the Rare Replay pack. So
yeah.
So even if you don't want it, it's like it's like $10.
You want to talk about underrated or unknown underrated gems? Yeah, Eternal Dark is just
cool.
Yeah.
But
tomorrow, can you please help me with the first Jack next?
Well, maybe we'll see what's going on tomorrow, sweetie. Did you get stuck?
Help her.
Okay, all right. I'll see what I can do.
I barely squeaked by with the storm and the big giant rock dude throwing shit at me.
Oh, that part. Yeah.
That was the hardest boss fight I've ever done. I fell in the lava 1,000 times over.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that being tricky.
Yeah.
But
I barely squeaked by on that because I had to go back to the green sages.
Oh my God, 007! Did you not see that Unreal 5 engine demo that came out a little while ago? It's a huge quantum leap forward in graphics. It's not just about being slightly higher resolution. It's about the polygon count and the way that it processes information. Real-time ray tracing, literally hundreds of billions of polygons making up the environments, and it's just such a quantum leap forward in terms of graphics capabilities.
The terminology for this generation is going to be triangles.
Triangles, yeah. They don't say polygons anymore. They say triangles. But
I will say though that in the case of this, as with every other generation of gaming, when it comes to whether the early games are going to look good or not, it's like, well, they're probably, a lot of them are going to look like they could have been done on the PS4. However, when you get to like the second and third year of the game console, then you're going to start seeing some stuff that's
the average is it usually takes about 2.5 years or so for developers to really take their stride.
So you don't have to buy it first day.
That's when you're going to start to see stuff that really takes advantage of the capabilities of the hardware. And a lot of the games that we saw,
it's fun to be able to.
Like we were saying, a lot of the games that we saw previews for at the event aren't even going to come out at launch. So, what?
Yeah,
cut me off.
Exactly.
What were you saying? What?
I was literally in the middle of a sentence.
Sorry. Welcome to SNI.
Sorry, Rosie.
I was talking about how I had to go back to the Green Sages Island.
Yeah.
Like the village. To get more precursor
orbs. Yeah.
Because the underwater precursor temple thing was just way too fucking hard. So I had to go get, like, the extra ones from the village that I missed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, generally, you want to try to do that, hit the easier areas first, just to kind of build up what you've got and what you have access to, and then go for the harder. So you might have just gone to that boss fight a little too early, like, before finding enough other stuff that might have helped you out a bit.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't remember all the mechanics.
You don't need anything to verse the boss.
Okay.
Besides, you need to, like, power that levitating thing.
Okay, yeah.
You're in that part.
It's been a long time since I vaguely remember the boss fight you're talking about. Like, I remember being on the lava platforms and stuff.
You had to shoot fireballs at his chest.
That area difficult is that most of the precursor orbs are in that driving section. So it's a lot
with
a lot of the races, a lot of the
car thing,
knocking those little dudes back into their burrows, and
it's
all that shit. Not my favorite section of that game.
Yeah, I hate that spot. Yeah. The only one I couldn't complete there was the rings. Yeah. I hate those damn rings.
Anyway, any other gaming news?
No, that was really, like I said, I just was focusing on the PlayStation stuff for this week.
Gotcha.
So.
There was one I saw today that I posted the trailer for on my Twitter. There's a new Outlast game coming.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it looks...
No idea what that is.
Scary as hell. You know what Outlast is?
Oh, the one with the... I'm gonna get you.
Piggy. Yeah.
Yeah, Piggy.
You played like a Fortnite version.
Oh, that. Yeah, like the...
Yeah. Anyway, there's a new
Weird
Outlast game
Pikachu.
coming out, and it looks like it's a prequel. Actually, it's set in the 50s during like these top secret government experiments to give people enhanced abilities and such. So it's kind of a precursor to the, I guess, the Wall Rider experiments that are the subject of the main, like the original game. And it wasn't explicitly stated, but one of the doctors operating on the main character in the intro cinematic seemed kind of familiar. I'm
I have not
wondering.
seen the trailer, so I don't know.
I'm wondering if it's the surgeon character from the original, but from back in the day.
Ooh.
Seemed kind of
Oh, like a younger version?
like a younger version before he was all mutilated and stuff. Yeah. Only speculating here, but he seemed to have similar kind of qualities about him. He's like humming a
That
little
was
happy.
one of my
favorite
characters
characters?
from-
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, he was
From the
great.
first
He was,
one.
buddy! Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah.
Buddy!
And the thing that gave it away was he had like glasses, kind of similar to what he had. You didn't see his face clearly, but he had like a surgeon's mask on. And the moment that triggered it for me was he's kind of humming a little tune to himself as he's going across all of the horrible looking surgical implements to pick the one he wants to use. And so that's my theory, is I think that's him. But in
Normal version.
back in the day before, I guess
Back
he
before he
himself
became
may have been
that.
subject to such experiments. But
Yeah, you like in the prequel. I
I'll
I
go
saw
check out the
you
trailer.
watching.
Yeah.
I saw you watching the trailer, and
oh yeah, you saw. a bit of it.
who knows? Maybe you might actually find out what happened to the doctor
to that guy.
before he got mutilated,
Yes, maybe.
and all the other creatures.
But it's interesting because it takes place in the 50s. Obviously, they're not walking around with night vision cameras. So what it is the player and I guess other test subjects you meet up with who help you have had night vision goggles surgically implanted into their eyes.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So
I don't know why.
Oh.
I just picture like Sam Fisher goggles like glued to their face.
you're not far off, actually. But needless to say, this being Outlast, the process of attaching them does not look particularly pleasant.
It's like the human centipede, but with your eyes.
Yeah, so...
Oh god.
So anyway, really looking forward to that. And we also it was announced that there's going to be a game, I guess an RPG or action game or something based on Werewolf the Apocalypse, the RPG.
Yeah, that one's been circling around for a few days, actually.
Okay, yeah. So it's the RPG from the World of Darkness. And notable because that's never had a video game before. They've been ones based on Vampire the Masquerade, but never anything based on Werewolf the Apocalypse. So that's pretty
Right.
cool that that's coming.
The only other one that I saw, and again, I'm just going to mention it. I mean, EA did confirm it, but we don't have any information. They said a trailer's coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's it was somebody accidentally leaked. It was some big company that did a new Star Wars game called Star Wars Squadrons.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, that's right.
From like I said, we don't know any other information about it. They said
No.
the trailer's coming soon. They said, well, someone leaked it, so we might as well announce it.
Yeah,
Um,
cat's out of the bag.
And yeah, so it's a Star Wars. It has the word squadrons in it. So my judgment, my guess is that this is the next in the Rogue Squadron series.
Yeah, it'd be some kind of like flight-oriented thing,
Right.
like
So,
space combat.
Like, and a lot of people are saying it might go all the way back to purely just off the box cover. It
Mhm.
might be a spiritual sequel to X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
To like the X-Wing games. Yeah, I actually just got all those on May the 4th when they were on sale.
So
Star
yeah,
Wars
so that
Day.
one I think they said this coming Monday,
Yeah.
so in a couple days.
All right.
So I
cool.
will report back to you.
Okay, well, finishing up the news here with the obits. Always fun.
The
Right.
sad part.
Yeah. One that definitely hit all us comic fans. Denny O'Neil Lost Denny O'Neil this week. I believe he was 92. So, I mean, he definitely lived a life. But quintessential comic book artist and editor, principally for Marvel Comics and DC Comics from the 1960s until the 2000s. His best-known works include the Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Batman with Neil Adams. It was during this run that O'Neil co-created the Batman villains Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul, as well as characters Leslie Tompkins and Azrael. His other notable work includes runs on The Shadow with Michael Kaluta and The Question with Dennis Cowan. As an editor, he is principally known for editing the various Batman titles. O'Neil also co-created Marvel's Madam Web and coined the name of the Autobot leader, Optimus Prime. Denny O'Neil, of course, everybody knows about the Green Lantern, Green Arrow series from the 70s that kind of redefined comics. He was also one of the principal guys behind redefining Batman, getting it out of the sort of cheesy campiness of the 60s that was partly due to the popularity of the TV show, and getting back to the Dark Knight detective of the original comics of the 30s and early 40s. And that, of course, has been the way Batman has been portrayed ever since. That was largely thanks to Denny O'Neil kind of redefining the character. Because the comics weren't doing particularly well at the time after the, sort of little explosion of interest from the 60s series, and then that quickly died off. And then, and he was one of the big guys to head up the reinvention of comics in the early 70s. How you doing, kiddo? You getting tired?
It's midnight.
I know. Bobby Lewis, American rock and roll rhythm and blues singer with a career spanning nearly 70 years from the 50s until 2020. Best known for his 1961 hit singles Tossin' and Turnin' and One Track Mind. The former was used in two classic 70s films, namely American Graffiti and Animal House. I just read that one. Denise Cronenberg, Canadian costume designer and 28 years in the business from 1986 to 2014. She's worked on the following projects: 1986's The Fly, 1988's Dead Ringers, 2004's Dawn of the Dead, 2005's A History of Violence, and many others. Denise was the older sister of filmmaking great David Cronenberg. Kurt Thomas, American Olympic gymnast. He was the first American male gymnast to win a gold medal at the World Artistic Gymnastics Championships, the World Championships, doing so in 1978. 1 year later, he set the record for most medals won at a single world's championship, I guess, by an American gymnast, with 6, a feat matched only by Simone Biles in 2018. Thomas featured in the 1985 film Gymkata, which has since gained a cult following. Raish Caldwell, American professional football player who was a wide receiver in NFL for 6 seasons from 2002 to 2008 with the San Diego Chargers, New England Patriots, and Washington Redskins. Jazz Walters, American screenwriter and journalist known for writing 18 episodes of the television series This Is Us. Waters was also a journalist in the hip-hop industry and was an advocate for the importance of black writers in film and TV.
That would explain why that show's not on right now.
Yes. Bonnie Pointer, American singer, best known for having been a member of the Grammy Award-winning vocal group the Pointer Sisters. Pointer scored several moderate solo hits after leaving the Pointers in 1977, including a disco cover of the Elgins' Heaven Must Have Sent You. She had an over 50-year musical career from 1969 to 2020. Mel Winkler, American actor with a nearly 40-year career from 1969 to 2007. Though Winkler mostly appeared in minor live-action roles such as Doc Hollywood, Star Trek Voyager, and Babylon 5, he was best known as the voice of the Guardian Mask Aku Aku in the Crash Bandicoot series, and Lucius Fox in the new Batman adventures. Yes, I definitely would know him from Batman. And finally, Mr. Wrestling 2, Johnny Walker. Legendary professional wrestler with a 52-year career from 1955 to 2007. He's best known for his appearances with Championship Wrestling from Florida and Georgia, Championship Wrestling in the 1970s and early 1980s, and worked for the WWF from 1984 to 1986. Jimmy Carter, 39th President of the United States, famously said Walker was his favorite wrestler and even invited him to his presidential inauguration in 1977.
Jimmy Carter's a mensch, by the way.
Yes.
Love it.
How you doing, kiddo? So, that is all the news that's fit to geek. A lot to go through this week, so that's why it took forever. Obviously, a lot of gaming news this week, too. Yeah, that was a lot. There's also a lot of trailers and stuff coming out this week, too, so there was quite a lot to cover with our usual assortment of random tangents. Okay, so pickups.
I have 7.
Did you want to do
I
your
also have
pickup
7.
since you're dying? Why don't you do yours first?
I'm not dying. I just need to adjust to the light. Go
Why
ahead.
don't you go get yours?
He's like, I'm not dying. I'm just.
Okay. So, as you know, a couple weeks ago, Rose and I got... please watch that button. Rose and I got a couple of gift cards from her Nana, my mom, and it was for Indigo Books, and we ordered some books. You saw a couple of mine last week that arrived. I'm still waiting for the second package to arrive. But Rosie's also waiting for her second package to arrive, but one of hers did arrive. So what'd you get?
I got Stephen King's Pet Sematary.
Oh, there we go. Nice trade paperback edition. Very nice.
I don't want to be buried in the pet cemetery.
Yeah, I was reading the introduction that Stephen King, obviously, wrote in the beginning of the book, like before the actual book began, and he was saying that there was an actual like pet cemetery behind his old house in Maine where they'd bury all the like roadkill, basically.
Wow.
And then they also buried his daughter's cat there. And his son almost got ran over by a car sometime.
Wow.
So this is a very personal story for him, then.
It sounds like it, yeah.
So he added a bunch of that into the book, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought he went too far with it.
Oh, right.
So he literally kept it in a drawer, not knowing whether he should publish it or not. Because he thought it was like...
Too much?
He thought it was too much, and the only thing that really convinced him to publish it was his wife, who thought it was horrible, but good enough to read.
Okay, then. Well... so that's your first Stephen King story.
Yes.
Have you seen any of the movies based on his stuff? Oh no, I've seen
the original It.
You saw the original It, right? Because I showed that to you.
That was hilarious though, because all the special effects were awesome.
Yeah.
None of them, like literally, none of them scared me.
Yeah.
The only thing that scared me was a literal creaking door to the entrance of this huge mansion. That's the only thing that startled me.
That was it. Yeah. Very good. So this will be your first actual Stephen King novel.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember you were asking, you were browsing Indigo, looking for something to buy, and you weren't sure what to get, and you're like, what are some... New book smell? Definitely a bibliophile right here, folks. And you were saying, what are some other authors? I'm trying to, like, I can't think of, like, some authors I might want to check out. And I said, about Stephen King. She's like, oh, yeah! I forgot he existed! So then she went and she basically skimmed through the bajillions of Stephen King books, and...
I was stuck between Carrie and Pet Sematary.
Yeah, and I said that, well, that's a couple of good choices there. go with some of his classics. And
I wanted to read it after because I sort of already know the story from the movie.
Yeah.
But I know it's going to be different.
Yeah, well, of course.
I want to read all the other stuff he's written before I watch their movie adaptations.
Yeah, of course.
Because, like, with certain movies, you really want to read the book first.
Yeah, for sure.
So then you can see the differences that they made.
Yep.
Either because they didn't have proper licensing,
well, it's
or
not usually
they were
that,
like didn't have enough time, or
more often than not, it's for time because I mean, a book like a 300-page book, if you're to adapt that in full, you'd be looking at like a 10-hour-long movie.
Yeah.
So they're trying to take that story and distill it down to its core elements and do a 2-hour movie out of it or a 2.5-hour movie. So you're going to lose stuff regardless.
They also have to change certain things because of the limits they have with special effects.
That's not as big a problem now. A lot of the times it's just kind of more certain subplots might not be as important to the overall story, so they'll just kind of chop those out.
Because I'm almost done the book Ready Player One.
Yeah,
I know you haven't seen it yet. I'm not spoiling anything.
That one is a different story because that one's more to do with licensing, as you say, where they couldn't have the same characters that he meets up with in the book be in the movie for licensing reasons.
And there are certain characters that die in the books or in the book that don't die in the movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen movies like that
mainly
too.
Because I'm pretty sure the movie, in my opinion, was geared more towards, like, young adults, teenagers.
Yeah.
Because, like, it doesn't really have any swearing. There's no gore, really. There's no, like, adult content. But, like, with the book, there's, like, tons of swearing. And
it's a little more,
Yeah, it's like the Dragon Lord's book I have. Where there's, like, a
yeah.
couple dirty jokes here and there, and then there's a lot of swearing.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the type of books I read because my reading level is higher.
Like, for example, The Invisible Man, which is one that we've watched.
Hilarious.
It's a great movie. There's a character. There's how am I supposed to put handcuffs on a pair of pants? But yeah, there's a character who dies in the movie that actually doesn't die in the book. And there's another movie I have called The Old Dark House, where there's a character who dies in the book who doesn't die in the movie. So
character deaths are definitely significant.
Yeah, but it changes the certain dynamics of the story.
Yeah.
That said, both of those movies are still pretty good adaptations of the books. They just changed a few things for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm not saying because there's gonna be people that haven't seen or read the book and movie, but there's a character that dies in the book that doesn't die in the movie, and I'm guessing it's because of how gorily descripted it was in the book. It was literally and IOI chucked him off the building, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was,
So yeah, that's Ready Player One. But you got Pet Sematary.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I hope you enjoy that. And speaking of the movie, I have the movie on Blu-ray. There was a remake recently. I don't have the remake. But I have the original movie on Blu-ray. So if you want to watch that after you finish reading the book, let me know and we'll watch it. Because I haven't seen it.
I'm technically reading 4 books at once right now. So I'm going to hold off a bit.
Yeah.
You have Amazon Prime, right?
Yes.
I believe, at least in the United States.
Do you mind?
Yeah, what? Sorry, Stad?
At least in the United States, Pet Sematary, the remake, is on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Yeah, I might check that out at some point. Thank you, Manic. Alrighty. So you still sticking around? Are you going to bed or what?
I wake up at the same time no matter what time I go to bed.
Well, you want to make sure you get enough sleep, though.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. Okay.
And hello, Funk Monk.
Yes, hello. So, sorry, Garbage Gamer and Stoud, what do you got?
I have 7 pickups, and
You
he
have
has
7?
7 pickups.
You both have 7. Okay. Well, here, Garbage Gamer. What did you get, Garbage Gamer?
I got some
Giant
stuff.
garbage gamer.
I see you have some Animal Crossing in the background there. I've heard of that mobile game.
Yes.
Oh my god,
It's a
Animal
good
Crossing
mobile
is in my nightmares.
Really?
See, mobile game.
Oh, there it is. See?
Whoa.
Mobile. Yeah.
It is indeed a mobile game.
Or-
Correct.
There you go.
There we go. Very nice. The magic of the Switch, ladies and gentlemen.
There you
That's
go.
cool.
Picked up some Blu-ray BVDs.
Some Blu-ray DVDs. Those are great.
Picked up an Animu.
An
I don't know
Animu?
why I'm talking this
I
way.
don't know either. It's late and it's tired and you're late.
Yeah. I've literally been up for almost 24 hours at this point.
Excellent.
I worked early this morning, so I've been up since 6 a.m. So I picked up Fist of the North Star, the movie, on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice.
No idea what that is, but
That's-
cool.
That's
It
one I
says,
need to get
"Will
again.
blow your mind right off of your skull."
Yes. I used to have that on VHS many moons
We're
ago.
already dead.
Yeah.
Oh my wa, dosendeyo. Anyway. Nani? No, sorry.
Buddy.
Funk was saying hi.
Hello, Funk.
No, he was saying hi to me.
Okay.
So yeah, this one actually
So
is, it's
I was
pretty cool. It's got
waving.
the-
All right, I'm paying attention here.
It's got the slipcover here, then it has the artwork on the case
Cool.
that shows
Very nice.
some shit.
Yeah, I definitely want to get that. Do you have the show as well, or no?
I do not have the show. I've been looking
Okay.
for it 'cause it's like ridiculously. It's one of those shows that's weird
Yeah.
release. There's not just like the set.
No, there
It's
is
like all
the
these-
set. There is the set. They have the complete series on SD on Blu-ray.
No, you'll have to point me to that one. 'Cause I haven't
It's
found
like about $40 or $50. It's stupidly cheap, and it has the entire series
it. All right. Now I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. from Discotech. So
Um,
same people.
So I've been rediscovering the wonderful world of 3D Blu-rays because my projector
Ooh.
does 3D,
Nice.
and now's a good time
Love
to
it.
do it since a lot of these 3D Blu-rays are stupidly cheap now.
That's
Um,
yeah, good point. Yeah.
And so I went through and I just picked up a bunch of 3D Blu-rays.
Yay.
So the first one I picked up is Thor Ragnarok, which I had no idea had a 3D version.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
only in the UK, but I'm pretty sure it's region free.
It is.
Yeah.
So
Lucky
Yeah,
so
pretty much
Brits.
all the Marvel movies still have 3D versions. They just don't have them here. They have them in the
so this
UK.
is
Lucky
the-
Brits.
It has the regular 2D Blu-ray.
Same
for
with
the
Star
Thor
Wars.
This is Thor Ragnarok. Next one I picked up is Moana.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen that
Blu-ray.
yet.
This
really
movie
good.
is the 3D is spectacular.
Yeah.
Like it's so
I've
good.
been standing at the edge of the what? Okay. DMCA.
Actually, I was gonna show you
DMCA.
this. It's in my PS3 right now, because that's the thing that does 3D movies. The next one I picked up Lion King 3D.
It's a circle of DMCA.
Wow.
Copyright strike.
Only if you keep singing.
The next one I picked up here is what is it? Rise of the Empire 300 Rise of the Empire.
Nice.
I almost forgot. The
Ah,
title.
yeah.
I
still
have
didn't see
that one. I still haven't seen it either.
This is one of those movies. It pulls every little cheesy thing to try to throw 3D in your face. There's like
Okay.
blood on the screen.
Excellent.
And all that fun shit.
Yeah, I loved the first 300 too. It was great. Really good movie.
So,
I have that too. I just haven't
and
watched
last
the
but not
second one.
least is a double pack. I picked up the 3D Blu-ray double pack of Clash and Wrath of the Titans.
Ah, okay.
Ah.
Has the lenticular 3D cover.
That's cool. Yeah.
It
I
has
have those
both
too.
movies.
I think I've only seen the first
I
one.
think I have the 3D versions. No, you've seen the original. That's the remakes.
I was gonna say I have the
Oh.
original
It's the
Clash of the
remake.
Titans.
Yeah.
So these are the.
I don't
Remake.
remember if I
Yes.
have the 3D versions. I'll have to check. I don't think I do.
Yeah, like These are hefty too because this is the 3D Blu-ray, the 2D Blu-ray, and the DVD in each of these packs. So
I remember, I think I may not have got the 3D version of the first one because I remember reading at the time it was a very late post convert.
I will say that these are both post conversions.
Yeah, because
hold
3D
on, is not that good.
No, like the first one in particular, what I heard was that it gives it the look of a stage play with like just very static layers in the background and stuff, and it really doesn't have much reason to be in 3D.
Yeah, there's not a lot of depth to anything.
Yeah.
And the depth is lost because there's a lot of action that's panning.
Yeah.
And as soon as if you've ever watched a 3D movie, you'll notice that anything that pans really quickly, the 3D goes away entirely.
Mm-hmm. Because of the blurring or whatever.
Yeah, blur effect and everything. So it's just as soon as anything's blurred, it just
this is why higher frame rate is good for 3D because it helps to minimize that issue.
But so I mean, like I wanted to get these movies anyway. Like I said, this was actually cheaper. Yep. So
nice. Yeah, I got them too. I mean, I still prefer the original, but I got them because I mean, it's
still, like, and I'll continue to get these 3D versions.
It's still Greek mythology, you know.
Find them cheaper than the standard editions.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know, I get a bonus extra feature I can fuck around with, and I still get the regular version anyway.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Literally no disadvantage to me here.
Okay.
And I would say Stout's next, but he's gone.
Oh, where did he go? He just disappeared.
He said, "Be right back."
I literally put the case down and looked at the camera, and I see his door shut. I'm like, oh, right.
Bathroom break, maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Well then. Oh, he said BRB in the chat again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
I had to as well. Well, it's been a long show this week, so we had to.
I said I don't mind doing it because I'm off
tomorrow. Oh, I heard him leave.
Oh, good. Oh, you heard him leave. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't say anything.
Stout is a ninja.
AKA why I'm actually still here at,
That's
midnight.
True. Yeah, usually.
The last couple nights,
later.
I do
just disappear.
Yeah, I do not go into work until like 12:30 or 1, but if I'm up till 3-4 in the morning, having to wake up at 10 a.m. still is a bit rough.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
exactly. I agree.
So
Saturday night on InSaNiTy, yes.
So while Stoud's away,
okay.
I did one thing I was curious about was the Lion King Blu-ray, mostly because of the post conversion of 2D animation into stereoscopic 3D. Like, was it going to be one of those where they just like cut layers?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a flat cartoon that you're watching, but it's just like you see depth between like layers, like someone's like.
Well, again, like a stage set. That's kind of how they were describing the 3D in Clash of the Titans. It was like.
But interesting enough, that's not the case actually. No. Like in the scenes especially in the scenes where, like either Mufasa or Scar is like really up close to the screen, you can actually tell that like his head's round.
Oh, okay. So you can see like the defined shape and perspective.
Like they got thickness. I guess the best way I can describe it is like you're used to seeing them flat, and now they're thicker. But mostly because of the very beginning when it's just like it does that pan shot over and there's like a rolling hill.
Mm-hmm.
The rolling hill's flat, and it's like it's flat and it just kind of like appears and moves down like this. You can like see it move.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Interesting.
And so that, and the other thing I'm running into is a lot of these movies are hardened coded widescreen with the bars on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
So the 3D that comes at you gets cut off by the black bars.
Oh, because it's like CinemaScope or something. Yeah.
So like your brain kind of like puts it back into 2D when that happens.
JL, because the 3D version is not available in the US. We explained this earlier.
Yeah. If you want,
Disney only
the
releases
older-
their 3D stuff in the UK now.
yeah. So this is the UK release, but they're region free though.
Welcome back, Stoud.
So feel free to import.
Hello.
Where'd you go?
I had to pee.
Hold it like a man, I say after I went pee as well. So. All right, cool. So, Stoud, what'd you get since you're back and ready to show us everything you got?
I made an order. I can't remember who it was that somebody tipped me off to Hamilton Books.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since, every month they have new shit that they add that's like a ridiculously good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up getting, usually, not every month, but usually I end up getting at least a couple of things. This month, the big thing here, I think, is The Prisoner.
Oh.
Arrow
Interesting.
Video. This was only $12.
Not to be confused with the 60s series starring Patrick
Yeah.
McGowan. This is different.
But this
It
one
was an
starred
Guinness movie.
Alec Guinness, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And just the concept behind it, the story and everything, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's also done by the same person, or written by the same person who wrote Gaslight.
Hmm.
And if you look at the synopsis for the film, it's like, that sounds like gaslighting. So-
Okay. Maybe that's where the term came from.
Well, no, that's definitely where the term came from. Gaslight
Say
movie.
goodnight to
It's where the
everybody
term
quickly.
gaslighting
You're
came from.
tired?
But I'm
Okay,
saying
sweetie.
the same
gonna fall
concept is
over.
apparently also used in this. So.
Okay, hold on a sec. Rosie is done. She's passing out on my arm here. So, you want to say goodnight, sweetie?
Good night, Stout. Good night,
Good night.
Garbage Amber, if you're still there. Good night, and good night, viewers of sorts.
Viewers of sorts. You're viewers of a sort.
Viewers of a sort.
Good night, everybody.
All right, give your teeth a good brush and go to your bed because I'll be crashing after the show. So, and I don't want there to be
my
a
neck.
lump
A
in
lump.
there, making it all warm and sweaty.
What's wrong with you? I'm not. Oh, I thought you said. I thought you said wump.
Wump? Don't want a widow wump.
A little wump.
All right. Catch you later, kiddo. Have
Night
a good
funk and blaze.
Everybody.
night.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
We ready for more?
Cass.
Okay.
What?
Picturing Sean then curling up in a fetal position in Rosie's bed. Oh, yeah. She's just sprawled out in my bed, and I'm just crammed into her bed.
Normally it's the other way around.
This isn't working. Alright. Night, sweetie. What?
Don't let the
Gonna
teeth
blow you a
rot.
kiss and it
Oh.
didn't work.
Bad idea, I can confirm. It's a very bad
Oh,
idea.
night, Cass.
Alright. Good night, sweetie.
Unless you want to pay thousands of dollars to repair the damage later, don't let your teeth rot.
No. Brush them well. Anyway, what else did you get, Stoud?
I got The Fan,
Oh,
which I don't
that
know
one.
much of anything about, but
Yeah.
I got it because Skinslip told me it was a great movie and she
Yeah.
wanted to watch it with me.
I've read about that one.
So-
It's supposed to be really good.
I got it. It was only $14. I was like, that's probably the best price I'm going to get on that. So, yeah. Then, double pack of Get Shorty and Be Cool. I've
Nice.
never seen either of them.
I've seen Get Shorty.
I
It's
wanna
very
watch,
good.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Heard good things.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Cass really likes that one.
Got True Romance, another one recommended by Skinslip. This one was $10.
I've also never seen that.
More than it's been in the past, but it's getting to the point where it's hard to find now, so
Mm-hmm.
you take what you can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is the director's cut, too, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Tony Scott film. And I think Skinslip also got this at some point. But it's a 4-pack of Western films.
Nice.
With Rio Concho's Take a Hard Ride, Butch and Sundance, the early years, and The Last Hard Men. But the main reason I got it is because it's 4 Western movies on Blu-ray, and it was $6.
Fucking A, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then I got Send Me No Flowers, because it's a classic film from the, what was it, 50s or 60s? 60s, from the 60s. And it, stars Rock Hudson and Doris Day. And I'm like, I've never seen this movie before, so I obviously need to see it. It looks pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I think, $4. So,
thanks, Choke. Choke just said, why do I watch this stream? Because when I feel anxious, I put Sean on, and I feel immediately better. Aw, thank you so much.
And then,
I try to be a comfort as much as I can.
Finally, I got Little Caesar, the movie about the pizza company.
Finally.
Documentary about the pizza company. Finally, yeah.
The untold story.
Okay. Yeah, it's a crime noir-ish kind of movie from that era.
Mm-hmm.
And never seen it before, so I wanted to, and it was, again, $4. So
very nice.
Crazy not to get it.
Very nice, very nice.
That's it. That's all of it.
That's a pretty good haul.
It's all.
It's pretty good haul.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Random
good.
Stuff too.
You what?
Random stuff too, Like,
well, it's good. It's good to mix things up.
Here's a romance film, and here's Little Caesar. And some westerns.
Uh-huh.
And true romance.
Yeah.
Oh, and did I forget Prisoner? Prisoner?
No, you did not.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, very good. All right. Well, I got a few things came in this week. One of which I'll show you here is the, I guess. Sorry, just hold on a second. I'm just doing something real quick. I'm going to download and manually render the 2 pieces of InSaNiTy, and I can't yet because I'm waiting for the 1080p version. Anyway, so that it's all in one show, because if it's 2 shows, people won't watch. Not as many people watch part 2, and that just drives me crazy when they do that. So
yeah.
I'll put them all together. Anyway, to those of you watching on YouTube, sorry, this week's episode will be a little late because of technical difficulties. Just deal with it. Anyway, yeah, so I got this one, which was, I guess, the last thing I will ever order from Twilight Time, because they're closing their doors.
No,
hold on.
Sorry.
I'm about to elaborate on that. I know you're about to say, but Screen Archives, huh? Right? Screen Archives? It's like, yeah. Clarification on that. It's not what we thought. Where we thought, well, Screen Archives said they're going to continue to distribute Twilight Time. So we thought that meant this was going to be new Twilight Time titles. But from Screen Archives, no. That's not what it meant. It basically meant that the Twilight Time is closing their website and no longer selling things directly as of a certain date, at which time Screen Archives will pick up whatever remaining stock there is and sell the remaining stock through their website until there's nothing left.
That's sad.
That's what it meant. So, yeah. So Twilight Time is most definitely no more. Whatever's left is whatever's left. And when it's gone, it's gone. So, I placed an order through the website when the closure was announced. I was going to get a whole bunch of titles, but I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I was going to get a bunch of titles, but the shipping ended up being prohibitively expensive, so I didn't. I only got the one that I really, really wanted out of all of them, and that was Oliver Stone's Talk Radio. So there you go. So this is basically...
I have that on DVD.
Yeah.
I still have yet to watch it.
Stars, what's his face? Eric Bogosian, Alec Baldwin, Ellen Green, John C. McGinley, and music by Stuart Copeland, and of course it's directed by Oliver Stone. But basically about a talk radio host who kind of loses his mind, I think. But this is one I've been wanting to see for ages, because I remember seeing I think a review of it a long time ago, maybe it was Siskel and Ebert, I don't remember. But I thought it looked really interesting. I've had the DVD actually sitting on my shelf for ages, and I never got around to watching it. So now I will watch it. Just not sure when. But I definitely didn't want to miss out on the Twilight Time Blu-ray, because they do good work. Next up, got a couple more for the Hammer Horror Collection. We picked up The Reptile, which is basically 60s standalone monster movie where I guess a woman turns into a reptile through some kind of weird voodoo curse or something. Anyway, this one's very highly regarded and supposed to be really good, so I've wanted to check it out for a while. I just kind of left it till later in the Hammer acquisitions list, because obviously I wanted to focus on the big franchise ones first, like the Frankenstein and Dracula ones and stuff like that. Now that I'm all up to date with those, I can focus on more of the single one-off titles. And I got another one of their one-offs. A lot of people, including Christopher Lee himself, have said this is one of the all-time greatest roles he ever played. Certainly one of the best he ever did for Hammer. I know he wasn't a big fan of doing the Draculas, or just kind of the direction the Draculas went. But this one, apparently, he was quite proud of his work in, and has been a longtime favorite of Hammer fans. We have Christopher Lee as Rasputin, the Mad Monk. So, very good. I've never seen this, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. It says, what mystic power...
Rasputin?
That's right, lover of the Russian queen. What mystic power did this man possess that turned men into killers and women into animals? Well, let's find out. And then finally, I grabbed this one because Skinslip said it's now out of print. So I just kind of checked Amazon on a whim, saw they had a few left in stock for a reasonable price. So I grabbed it. This is from 1991. We have Gregory Hines and Renee Sutenjic. No, hold on. Sutenjic. Sutenjic. Yeah. Anyway, an actor that I like. She was in Paul Verhoeven's The Fourth Man. She was also in the recent remake of Suspiria as one of the teachers at the ballet at the dance school. So we have Gregory Hines and Renee Sutenjic in Eve of Destruction. So there you go. It's where she plays like an android with nuclear capability or something, and she goes kind of haywire and on the run. And Gregory Hines is the cop who has to track her down and stop her. So it's one I've been wanting to check out for a while. Looked like fun, and out of print. So get it now or lose it forever. So I decided to do that, and that was it. That's all I watched received in the mail this week. Yeah, got a few more on the way that I'm still waiting for. A couple of more recent orders that, well, they're too recent, so they haven't arrived yet. And, yeah. Oh, and I also got some vitamins, because some of my morning vitamins, I didn't have any left, so I needed to get more, and I guess
You're
because
so old.
Because of all the panic buying, there was just a lot of the vitamins I normally buy were just not in stock, like anywhere. I checked Walmart, I checked Shoppers Drug Mart, I even checked the grocery store, pharmacy section. None of them had the ones I was looking for. I guess because one of the effects of them is supposedly boosting your immune system. Cool, that's not why I take them. I take them because they help with my depression and stuff. So kind of essential. And yeah, so I ordered, found them on Amazon, reasonably priced, and ordered a few months worth supply, basically, just to make sure I don't run out. And that's that. And ordered a few more today of some other vitamins that are part of that regimen, again, to make sure I don't run out.
You're so old.
Uh-huh. And thanks to those vitamins, I will get even older, instead of dying 5 years ago. So
Vitamin.
So I'm not gonna spend too long on the movie reviews. What did you guys watch this week? We'll do short capsule reviews this week, I think, just to kind of wrap things up, because I think we're all getting tired.
My life go by for a week.
Excellent. What about you, Stoud?
I watched with Skinslip. We watched Phantasm 2.
Okay.
Which was even cheesier than the first one, and I enjoyed it still. So I can't wait to see the third one. We watched the Joe Bob version from.
I still need to see those. I haven't seen any of them.
And honestly, like, as fun as the movie was, I actually kind of enjoyed the Joe Bob portion of it better than the movie.
He's a character. So he's fun and often has interesting little bits of trivia about the movies, as well as just his Joe Bob shtick. That's always
his
silly.
Shtick in this one was he was doing a parody of the Blair Witch. So,
okay, interesting. Blair Witch meets Phantasm. Excellent.
We also watched The Thin Red Line. It was the first time Skinslip saw it, so I'll let her talk about that when she comes back.
Yeah, I have not seen that yet. I actually have the Criterion. It was sent to me a while back, and I haven't got around to watching it yet.
I love it, and every time I watch it, I find something new.
Like we were talking about earlier. Yeah,
that's the thing with Terrence Malick in particular.
But why would you rewatch a movie?
I was saying while watching it, I really want Terrence Malick to do a Western film, because a lot of his movies have to do with Americana and the story of America. And, you know, one of his movies is The New World, which starts at the very beginning of American history. And then we've got this, which is World War II. And we've got, you know, Badlands, which takes place in like the 60s, 70s. And we've got stuff that just goes throughout Americana. And that's pretty much all of his movies is talking about like American history through his lens.
Yeah.
So like the one era that he hasn't touched on is the Western. And I'm like,
okay,
you need to do it because it would be fucking phenomenal. I know it would be.
What? So, sorry, I zoned out a little bit there. What are some of the other films he did?
Oh my god. He
I'm
did
tired.
Badlands.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that
Badlands. To the Wonder is one of the more recent ones. He did Days of
Thunder.
No. God, I can't remember the name of it.
That's a bit of a departure for him, isn't it?
Oh. Not that.
That was a great Tom Cruise racing movie.
I remember the Paramount ride.
Oh my god, Days of Heaven.
Days of Heaven. Oh.
Jesus Christ. He did The New World, which had to do with like the very beginnings of the United States.
Brinsley. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Repeat everything.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Fucking fascist. Okay, but despite that, the other thing that I watched this week that I think was probably more important than all of them combined was Dave Chappelle's 846. And I highly recommend that all of you see it.
Oh.
I think it's probably the most important thing anybody watch in 2020.
So Terrence Malick directed that too?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is Dave Chappelle. It just came out.
Okay.
It's free to watch on YouTube, on Netflix's YouTube, which is called Netflix is a Joke, by the way.
Yeah.
But yes, it's free to watch.
Okay.
It's about 30 minutes long,
huh.
And it's probably the most important thing you'll watch all year. So
Dave Chappelle's new special. It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix and YouTube.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just really wanted to make sure it got out there. All right. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Oh, that's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, I didn't watch a ton of things this week. I only watched one on my own, and I watched two with Rose. I don't need to say much about these because you've all seen them. Rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're continuing on our journey through the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This was the next one in line. We've seen this one many times. We actually saw this one in the theaters and thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we watched the initially maligned, but apparently now well-liked by many, Avengers Age of Ultron. This is the lovely Steelbook edition here. Yeah, I will never understand why people didn't like this one.
I was just gonna say I don't get it.
I thought it was great. Apparently people are coming around to it now, like how many years later. And it's like, oh, I rewatched it. It's actually pretty good. It's like, yeah, it was always pretty good.
I was just like, nothing's changed.
It's still the same movie. But yeah, she really enjoyed it. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy had been a while since we'd seen it, so it was nice to get a refresher. It's fun, especially for her, watching them all in order for the first time, because now she's picking up on all the little connections between the different movies, like you know, how the stone that they were all kind of chasing after in Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the Infinity Stones, and how that's all connected together. And then when we're watching Age of Ultron, at one point they're talking about where vibranium comes from, the metal that Captain's shield is made out of, and it comes from Wakanda. And it's the first ever mention of Wakanda in the cinematic universe. And she was just like, oh, he just mentioned it. It's like, yeah, I know. never caught that before. But yeah, it was so it's been cool for me as well, you know, picking up on a lot of connections that I might have missed before, because a lot of them I've only seen once, and you know, sometimes months if not years apart. So it's nice to be kind of watching them all more closely together and picking up on all those connections, because they put a lot of thought into those in terms of tying it all together and stuff, and it's cool to see it
so much fun to watch.
develop and unfold. Yeah, also, I think from Guardians of the Galaxy forward, that's when they started to put a little bit more humor in it and make the, you know, up the fun factor a bit, which I think was a good way to go, because, I mean, you have the action, you have the drama, but now we have a little bit more of the humor, and it really makes them just such a joy, you know.
Next to Guardians of the Galaxy, this is the funniest Marvel movie they've ever made.
That's the other one we've rewatched the most, because it's just so much fun. I love Thor Ragnarok.
And like I was mentioning, mentioning earlier, this is also the closest where we're going to get to Planet Hulk.
Well, and that's yeah, exactly. Well, and also, this is the one where Hulk leaves. He takes off at the end of it, because of course they didn't want him to be there for Civil War, just like the reason they got rid of him in the comics. But in this case, he actually leaves willingly, because he, you know, went on that rampage through the city, and he feels bad and feels that he's a danger. So he basically exiles himself, and then of course ends up on Sakaar, and we meet up with him a few movies later, when Thor meets up with him, basically in Thor Ragnarok. So, which actually also is a kind of a direct continuation from Age of Ultron, because Thor leaves to investigate what's going on with all the sudden appearance of Infinity Stones all over the place. How it's like, we've been seeing a lot of these showing up lately. There's something going on here, clearly. Oh, and he had a vision as well when Scarlet Witch touched him. But so it all connects into what later happens in Thor Ragnarok, which is great. So anyway, so we're going to be continuing on with that probably tomorrow. We'll be watching at least the next one. Next one is Ant-Man, followed by, which she has seen before, followed by Civil War, which she has not seen before. So that should be fun. And then finally, the other one I watched on my own just during the week is this one, Liquid Sky, which is a very trippy, low-budget independent sci-fi film from 1982. Has some really...
Is that Tom Cruise one?
Totally. Tom Cruise's Liquid Sky, starring Tom Cruise. See, that's him right there. You can see... Yeah, no. Yeah, this is a very strange, trippy movie. with where basically this it takes place kind of in the new wave, drug fueled club and sex scene of the early 80s, and really cool makeup and visual design and aesthetic to this, which is one of the things that I always found interesting. The other reason I wanted to see it is I was kind of curious about it because this is the only other film that Paula E. Shepherd did. Paula E. Shepherd is the actress who played Alice in Alice, Sweet Alice about 6 years prior to this. So I was kind of curious to see what her only other film role was like. And she's actually really good in this. She plays a sort of drug dealer roommate to the main character. The main character is a model who's kind of androgynous. And interestingly enough, the actress who plays her actually plays a dual role in this, where she plays the character of Margaret, who is a female fashion model, and the character of Jimmy, who is a male fashion model. And they both do fashion shoots together, but also have kind of a bitterness between them. Maybe because they look similar or remind each other of themselves. I don't know. It's very, a lot is open to interpretation. But anyway, what the general story is there's all this sort of partying and sex and drugs and whatnot going on. And this alien spaceship lands on top of the apartment building where the model and her drug dealer friend live. And this alien is in search of heroin because it acts as, in a similar way. It's not, however, it doesn't want specifically heroin. It wants the mental effects of heroin as experienced by humans. It psychically extracts that and gets high from that. However,
alien wanted to come down and get high.
However, the model of the drug dealer girl is a bit of a nymphomaniac, so she brings a lot of men back to her apartment and just fucks them. And the alien gets the mental energy of the men having orgasms, and it's like, whoa, this is better than heroin. I want orgasms. But here's the thing. The alien extracting this mental energy is so traumatizing, it actually kills the person. So the girl thinks that she's killing people by fucking them, which in a sense she is. But it's really the alien killing them.
Who the fuck came up with this?
Meanwhile,
clearly they were on heroin themselves.
Meanwhile, there's a German scientist who's spying on them from across the street, who knows all about the alien and is trying to figure out a way to stop them and a way to warn them.
There's the paranoia from having been on drugs.
It's very trippy. It's very surreal, and it's one of those weird. It's a very odd subject, obviously. But there's just something strangely mesmerizing about the way this film was done. It has this kind of weird, off-putting synthesizer score to it. The visuals are very striking. As I say, the makeup and the set design and everything is very creative and unique and very much a part of that new wave aesthetic of the early 80s. It's
Brinsley.
It's just weird. So anyway, this is actually a Vinegar Syndrome release, absolutely loaded with extras, and well worth checking out if you want a really strange, surreal sci-fi experience, and you don't mind a little bit of slightly rapey sex.
Jesus. Well, what if I do mind it? Damn it.
Well, watch it anyway because it's cool. Some excellent framing.
Of the rapey sex.
It's not all rapey. She's kind of into that, so it's just the way she likes it. She likes it rough. The thing I thought was interesting was the fact that she plays these two characters, and they're very distinct from each other. It's easy to see them as two different characters.
God damn it, Major Matoka.
Pornhub contains sci-fi movies now. I never knew that. Alien movie coming soon. Does the plot come together orgasmically? Oh yes, the climax of the film is is quite just spasms of visual.
Thank you, Vezius. Yes.
Jizz.
Insert sexual connotation here.
Jesus.
No.
You just like trying to find
like,
all the different ways to say it.
It's like very much
Jizz.
movie sex, where it's just a lot of dry humping that you just kind of use your imagination a bit. It's like, okay, they're totally doing it, even though they appear to still have all their clothes on. But okay.
But is it like
totally doing it, man?
Is it movie sex like in the room or
two chubs up? Is what the alien? No, the alien is not in the room. This isn't E.T. the porno.
Are you sure?
The alien is on the roof in its little UFO. It actually has no physical form. It is a purely energy-based entity. So it remains contained within the UFO. And it just sits there and waits for people to, get it on so he can
a likely
just
story.
Enjoy. So, there you go. There's no nudity.
The critic
in it,
reviewed
though.
Two Chubs Up.
Was done by a theater group, yeah. Yeah. I think
God.
there's boobs in it briefly once. There really is not, considering how integral sex is to the story. There's really not a lot of nudity. Like, there's really nothing titillating about any of it. Titillating. It's more about the sort of surrealism and about the sort of self-destructive natures of the characters and whatnot, and it's the fact that the alien is a factor in it is almost secondary to how the characters relate to each other and stuff. So I found it interesting. It's very different. It's one I've been wanting to check out for a while.
Right, Brinsley? The belly button sex is so hot in the movie.
Yeah.
Fucking movie. I forgot to mention one movie I did see, by the way.
Okay.
I'll just keep it short and brief.
Uh-huh.
Shazam!
Oh, Shazam! Yeah, I still have to get that.
I loved it.
I still have to get that.
Great movie.
I've got a couple. I did finally order Birds of Prey, so that's on its way. And It Chapter 2 finally came back in stock, so we got that one. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, folks. Well, I'm going to head to bed, and I think everybody's going to head to bed.
That's right, Manic Prime. It's the one with Sinbad and the Genie.
That's the one. You know it.
Shazam.
And the Berenstain Bears.
See? He's right on the cover. There's Sinbad.
Yep. That's him.
There's Sinbad.
I think everybody does Funk Monk. I haven't seen The Room either, but everybody knows the sort of cheesy moments.
Oh, I've seen The Room.
I've seen The Room and The Disaster Artist.
See, that's I want to get both of those and double bill them. Yes. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Have a The Room night. Alrighty, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful night. And we'll, or day, whatever time it is. I'm so tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. It's a good marathon, though. Yay.
Have yourselves a wonderful whatever.
Have yourselves a merry little Christmas. And, on June 14th. And we'll see y'all next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for staying awake with us all. And sayonara. Pianist. Jeez. Where the hell's... Oh my god, I can't find any of the buttons. Where are they? Where is it?
Stay strafe.
Stay strafe, everybody.